Selling embroidery product is great because your customers love them. But showcasing your embroidered design on your Etsy store or your website is equally difficult. There aren't any good mockup generator that is capable to create realistic embroidery effect for your store listings. Well, you are in luck today because I have done the hard work and spent hours to bring you the list of the best embroidery mockup generators available in the market. In my research, I came across many tools and websites that promised to be the best embroidery mockup generator, but I ended up shortlisting only 6. In the web page, I'll be reviewing Printful, Printify, these 2 are free. On the paid side, in the cloud we have Placeit for embroidery mockup, and then on Photoshop based we have this patch mockup generator from Mr. Mockup, realistic embroidery Photoshop action or plugin, and third one we have a simple embroidery effect template. In this video together along with you, I will evaluate and review each embroidery mockup generator listed above, and I will show you the result. At the end, you get to decide which embroidery mockup is best for your use case. Let us start reviewing the best embroidery mockup generators. So you open printful.com. Signing in is very simple. Just go ahead and sign in, make an account with any of these options available here. Now to create embroidery mockup, go to product templates. Over here, click on create your first product template. I'll click on this. Now it brings up this tab where I could see the product and then the design tab over here. So what is cool about Printful is that it provides you 2 techniques to choose from. This one is DTG printing, which is direct to garment printing, and then the second option is embroidery. To upload your design, you'll go to design tab over here and then select choose file. Now Printful gives you a complete guide of what kind of design is possible to embroider. If you're new to embroidery designs, please go and read this. There's also a video included. For now, I'll click I have reviewed the requirements and I'll click on I accept. It will give me a pop-up to select my design. Since this is a pocket design, I'll use this camping design and I'll place it. Once the upload is complete, I'll click on apply. So Printful identifies the color on the design and it clearly lays out the different thread colors are required, and if you want you can go ahead and change the color according to your wishes. I'll click on continue. I'll click on save product template. So this is the one that I have. Now to download the mockups, I'll click on this icons and you can see I have the option to download mockups. I'll click on download mockup. Now Printful has already applied the same embroidery design in all of these mockup templates. I'll select all of them. I'll click on download all mockups. So these are the mockups exported from Printful. Let me open it and show you the quality that we have. Let me zoom in for you. So this is the quality that we have from our mockup template from Printful. Let me open the other ones so that you can check. Let us see the zoomed version. This is the zoomed version and you can zoom it further. Look at the quality. It gives a embroidery effect, but to be honest, I'm not quite happy because it does not exactly represent if it's an DTG print or an embroidery design. I'll go ahead and try these 2 designs as well with the Printful and show you the results. So with Printful, I also created mockups for this sloth relaxed design and big love design. I chose a different product this time, a beanie. Let me just open them and show you the quality. So if we zoom in, let me double click and open this. This is the quality of the text file that we got. I think the heart came out very well. Not sure about the text. Yeah, the effect is clearly visible. Big love. So you can check the other ones as well. I'll play it on the full screen. We could see the embossing on the heart. This looks pretty decent, I believe. Let me summarize the results of Printful and why you could choose Printful over the other providers that we have. Using Printful, you can create embroidery mockups for almost all products listed on the store. Once you upload the design on the platform, it identifies the different thread color and it allows you to change them, which is very unique to this platform, and I would give an extra point just for that. It goes one step ahead and provides embroidery option for inside and outside tags for the t-shirts, but it has some shortcomings. The mockup visuals that we get are very basic. Some of the product looked realistic and top-notch, just like the beanie. The other cool thing about this, it is free of cost, and it provides you a proper guideline to be followed for embroidery design. Now let us review Printify Mockup Generator for embroidery products. To go over to printify.com and create your account. It's completely free to create an account. Just follow the on-screen prompts. Once you are logged into Printify dashboard, go to the search bar and type in embroidery. You'll get a list of all products that are supported for embroidery. As you can see, we have only 6 products, unlike what we saw in Printful. Let us test out the quality of this embroidery mockup. I'll go ahead with this knit beanie. You'll click on Start Designing. Similar to what Printful gave us the guidelines, Printify also provides us the guidelines for the embroidery design. Now, to upload your design, look at the right panel. From here, I can click on Add Design from my device. Then I'll select this, a big love, so that we have accurate comparison between the Printful and the Printify mockups for the beanie. There's no option to change the color. We'll click on Preview. Printify will apply the embroidery effect and create mockup. We can see the preview images on the right over here. Let it load on the center and we can see what quality it produces. So this is the mockup that is being created. To download it, you can click over here, and then you can also select the other mockup. Just click on the preview thumbnail over here. Let me open this and show you the quality in the meantime. Alright, so to be honest, I wouldn't say it's a proper embroidery effect that we could see. They've tried to add some kind of embossing on the heart, but other than that, it looks very dull and it does not give the vibe for an embroidery design, according to me. You decide. To sum up, Printify embroidery mockups were only available for 6 products, for the hat, beanie and the tote bag. The outputs are very basic and does not look realistic at all. Though it is free of cost, Printify for embroidery mockup is not recommended at all. Our third mockup generator is Placeit. So go over to placeit.net and create an account. It is very simple to create an account. You can create your account for free. Now create your embroidery mockups. You can click on search embroidery over here. So we get all the embroidery mockup listed down. We can scroll. We have the polo t-shirts, then the hat, and what I like more about is it gives you different variety of mockup images that you can choose from, and all of them are in lifestyle mode, which is good for your store if you're trying to market it. So we'll try this beanie. So this is the basic interface of the mockup editor in Placeit. To insert the image, click on insert image and upload from your device. We'll select big love for the beanie, click open, power to resize and see if you want to resize them, and this is very nice. It gives you a preview how big your design would look like. Okay, so you can play with this. It does take time to process them, and click on crop. Let me zoom in. If I try to download it, so I need to pay it. I'm only on the free account. So I think if I zoom in and you can see the quality, It looks good, but not as good as we would want. This is difficult to judge from this screen, but overall, if you want to generate a lifestyle image, Placeit would be the best way to create embroidery mockups for lifestyle images. To sum up Placeit, Placeit has good collection of lifestyle embroidery mockups for almost all kind of products, maybe it hat, t-shirts and all. Using it is very simple. Just select the mockup, upload a design, and the embroidery effect is applied within a click. The embroidery effect, I could not download the images because I was on the free plan, but as I have done this in the past, the embroidery effect is average, not over the top, to give you an exact realistic visual, but you could take it as an average, not poor as what we saw in Printify's case. The shortcoming is, it is obviously paid. A service like this will never come for free. It is only recommended if you want to generate mockups for your marketing purposes. The first one is Embroidery Patch Mockup Generator. I purchased this from Mr. Mockup and it costed me around $47. So once you purchase and extract the folder, you get 3 folders which are crucial: Embroidery Generator, Patch Mockup, Pre-made scenes, textures, and then some material for want to be featured, then license and the help documentation. The 2 folders that we are concerned for is the Patch Mockup and the Embroidery Generator. Let me explain you how it works and what does these 2 folders include. Let me open the Embroidery Generator. We have only one PSD on this Embroidery Generator. Click on Open. It is a PSD file, so it will open in Photoshop. Let me minimize this and let me bring in Photoshop. So this is the file. You could see the close-up shot of a blue fabric, and let me just expand this. Now we have different folders, even different layer groups. The first one is your design here: flat, bold, style V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, and we have BG. BG is basically the fabric that they have provided along with this. To generate mockup or generate the embroidery effect, open this color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4. So what the creator of this embroidery mockup generator want you is to separate your design element into different colors to get the best output possible. So if you have a design and if you separate them into different colors, that will give you the best output, even though that is recommended by the creator of this template. But I tested it with simple RGB images and the result came out as good as anything we have seen in the previous web-based mockup generators. So let us see. I'll click on color 1 and double click on this smart object layer. It will open a new PSP document. Now let us pull our design and place it. Let us try this hiker list. We'll drag and place it over here. Hit enter and click on file save. Once the save is done, we'll close this. And you see the embroidery effect straight away. It does look like an embroidery, actual embroidery. Now the fun part is, let me collapse this. What I find interesting is different style of embroidery that this template provides. Let us start with the template V6. So the straight line, the thread is horizontal. Turn off and turn off V5. So this is a different style of embroidery. And then we have an diagonal, the thread running diagonally. You could see the difference in the threading and that we have. Okay, so you may play with the different style that you want. If you are selling a t-shirt or a beanie and you want to place this embroidery on your t-shirt, to how you can do that, and that is quite simple. Just turn off this BG. Now what you can do is right click on this and convert to smart object. This turns it to a smart object. Now open your products onto the other tab. We have this t-shirt and then the beanie that we downloaded from Printful, I believe. Yeah, Printful or Printify, I believe. So let us see if we can copy and paste them. Right click and duplicate your layer. Mockup tool. Mockup JPG. Now we can go ahead and resize them according to your wish. So this is the embroidery effect all you see on the t-shirt. I think it's much better than what we did with the other two. And if we duplicate it on the beanie, press Ctrl D, and you could see the effect. Okay, it depends on the style that I chose. Let me try the same with the other design, the typography design, and show you the results. Now I'll select your design, double click on open this smart object, I'll delete this, place this design, and in the meantime now I can delete this layer. Perfect. Click on save. I'll click on save, and then I'll duplicate it to the other two images that I've opened in Photoshop. So you can see the quality. I think this is pretty good. Okay, and also on this one, I'll press Ctrl T and bring back our design. It's a good comparison to see now. Okay, so the top one is we created with the template, and the bottom one that is created from the Printify Mockup Generator. Okay, so you have the results and you decide what you are going to use. Okay, now this is the embroidery. So this is the embroidery generator. Now let us talk about the other folder that is interest for us, that is the patch mockup. So if I open this patch mockup, we are created by two PSD files, patch 1 and patch 2. Let me zoom in it for you. So let me open this any one of the patch mockup to just give you a overview of how it would work. So this is the patch. We have 6 of them, and you could clearly see the fabric and the thread patterns. Now you may decide to work on any of the patch. So we have 6 of them. This was the patch 1, and when we expand this, just look at the first is stitching, the second was embroidery, and the third one is print patch color. Alright, so let us look at the stitching. We have 2 options with the stitching part. This is style V2, and if I deselect, this is style V1. So you can see the difference. You can choose any of the patch that works for you. And then the embroidery. So the embroidery group over here is similar to what we saw in the embroidery mockup template. We have 6 styles, bold, and again you expand this your design, and color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4. So if your designs are separated into colors, that is very beautiful. In that case, and just open each individual smart object and paste that color. For now, you follow the same step that I showed you in the previous template. It is exactly the same template. The embroidery part is picked up from the previous template and just put them into this patch. Third one is print color. So if you want to change the color of the print, you can do it here. So maybe you can have a pattern, or you could select any color, maybe this green, and the patch will have a green color. So you can play with this. It is additional to what the embroidery effect that we generated. So I think the embroidery effect, embroidery patch mockup is clear. To sum up patch mockup generator, you could play with different style of embroidery effect that were available in this template, which was very nice to have. The output looks almost realistic, like how an embroidery product would look in the real life. The shortcoming is that it is damn expensive, around $47. You saw what you got, and then you need some sort of Photoshop knowledge, prior Photoshop knowledge to use this template. One thing that also makes it stand out is 12 different patches that it provides. So you can play with that and create different embroidery effects for your project. Realistic embroidery Photoshop action. This realistic embroidery Photoshop action is available in Envato Market. Once you download it, you'll receive these files. Installing it in Photoshop is very easy. The step-by-step instruction included in the purchase. I'll go ahead and just show you how we can use this. And this is an option we call test the preset. So let me just show you how this works. You open this template in Photoshop. We have different layer. This is the text layer, and you could change the color of the texture. Once you install the action, you can find it under Windows and Action. You'll see Realistic Embroidery 2.0. The first thing is set up borders, fill pass, render all, render borders. Alright. So what you are supposed to do is select a layer where you want to apply the embroidery effect. In this case, we want to apply the embroidery effect on this test. Maybe there was an image, we could try that as well, but let me just show you. Select and click on play. So it takes the border of the text and creates the stitch effect. And we could see there are 3 different layers. One is borders, setup, source 2, and this is the original layer. Let me zoom in. You could clearly see the text, the threading effect. Okay, we are not done yet. Once you do that, now select the action number 2 and click on play. It says fill pass. It is optional and repeatable. If you are happy with only the borders, you can go ahead and just use this. And the second option they have is fill pass, which is optional and we can play it more than one time. I'll click on play. So it filled one layer inside the thread that they had. The goal here is to fill the entire area between the text. Okay, so I'll click on fill pass again. I think they are done, and maybe we'll try one more time. You get this error. This makes, this error pops out because all the other areas are filled. So do not worry about any error that comes out. Just click on continue, and our embroidery effect is applied on the text. If you look at the quality, this looks pretty good. The threading is quite broad and quite visual. But we are not done yet. There's one more action which is called render all. Okay, we'll see what that does. So this gives an actual threading. You could clearly see how the thread is following, and it looks like a real embroidery. The next step is render all. I'll click on render all. Okay, so the rendering is complete. Let me zoom in. My goodness, looks so realistic with all the threadings we have, isn't it? Do not worry about the color. The next step is you would play with the color. So there are some defects that we would like to smooth it up. So this is the rendered embroidery output. Double click on the smart object icon. It will open a new layer. So this is a text that the embroidery effect is applied. So we have border colors. This is the border color. You can go ahead and change the color from here. So this will change the color for the border. And this layer, seams color, go ahead and change the color from here. Okay, so these two options are for changing the colors. You change the color from here, save it. And now you can select this mask, use the brush. Okay, and maybe you'd like to remove this the fly out threads that we have. Okay, so you have to smoothen it a bit depending on your choice. And now you can remove all of them, and you can just copy and paste it into a new layer. like to have. So this is how it works. Pretty cool, and to be honest, I like it. I mean, the way it applies the thread. Let us test it with our designs that we have and see what results it brings in. Remember, the creator has specifically mentioned that when you work on your image to apply the effect, make sure that your resolution is 300. So I'll just go ahead and change our resolution to 300. The creator is asking to use 300 because it is the way he has designed it. If you use 72 dpi, the proper effect will not be applied. I had already tested it out, so that's my recommendation. Change the resolution to 300. Okay, once done, when you try to work with two different colors, which is, I think you will appreciate that. Let us separate this heart out and we'll try how to proceed with two different colors. Okay, let's use the pen tool. Control Enter to make a selection. I'll press Shift Control J. Once I do that, these two layers are separate. We have the heart on a different layer and the text on the different layer. Now let us play with the text. So I'll select the text, click on Setup and Border, click on Play. So it works like magic, and they have the threading, as you could see. The next part would be fill the area. We'll repeat this. We'll repeat as long as it takes to fill up the area on the center. And we may get an error. You see, we get an error because all the other regions are already filled. Okay, let's save and close. So the text is filled. Just collapse this and click on Render All. Perfect. Now this is done. I'll go ahead and change the color because our color was black. You may see that it looks gray, not black. So there are some adjustment that we can do to make that black, I believe. So you can play with the slider, and from gray we can apply black. This looks good. I'll click on Save. This looks pretty decent, I believe. Yeah. And now the heart part. So once you do that, never ever just play the action on the second part unless you have taken care of the first part, because the action uses some file naming convention. So you could either go ahead and change the name to something else. I'll name it to thread text. If you do not rename it, there will be some conflict when you play the action, because the action has some naming convention which is hard coded. So just try to avoid that. Now we'll select the second layer, click on Setup and Border. Doesn't this look amazing? Perfect embroidery effect, I believe. Right click and duplicate this layers. So I would say this is what we downloaded from Printify, and this is what we generated from the Photoshop action. A big difference, isn't it? And with Photoshop, if you are any good with Photoshop, you can just remove this highlights and play with the image. That will give you a more realistic effect. Okay, in the Printify case, we just had to use the image that we had. On the t-shirt, how does it look? Isn't this amazing? I love this. This is the best embroidery effect that I witnessed across all the embroidery mockup generators that I tested out today. To sum up realistic embroidery action, the thread visuals were quite great. The output looks very realistic. The other advantage of using this Photoshop action is that it could directly work on any other mockup file. Unlike what you saw in the patch mockup, just open the mockup, put your design layer on the top and just play the action. The pricing is also reasonable, not over the roof. Different patches were not available. That is the only downside that I see. Always use this Photoshop action with 300 dpi images. Now moving on, let us review the final mockup action that we have, this backpack patch mockup scene. So when you search mockup generator on the internet, you will find several results, and this one that I downloaded, this available for free from Pixelbuddha. Let's try out how this results gives us. Okay, so just like what we showed in the patch mockup generator, it is a template. To work with any template that you download from the internet, you need to focus on the smart object layer. This is the smart object layer we have. Double click on this, and this is the design where you want to place it. Okay, so let me just pull out our design. Maybe we'll try this because it's a bag. We'll try to have the patch. Press Ctrl T. Try to fit in the region where this design lives. Do not go beyond that. Turn off the visibility of this and click on save. Once we do that, we can close, and this is the embroidery effect that is applied. Okay, you could see I've zoomed in and you could see the effect. It is similar to what I would say from the patch mockup generator. Let me just check. I'll just remove that so the patch goes away. The other layer or your fill was the patch layer. You could create the patch effect. Like earlier it was a circle, and on the circle there was a text, so you could create different shapes here and it will act as your fill, and then you can work. So the effect is good. It is pretty straightforward to apply, but the only problem that I see, it is already applied on the bag, and this I've just already applied to a certain perspective and angle. The effect's already applied. If you try to place it on the beanie or some other product, there will be some skewing happening. So this is a free option that you could try out to sum up the embroidery effect template, as it is very easy and straightforward to use. The best part is you get it for free, so you can test it out and try and see how effective it looks on your design. The effect, I would say, is similar to what we saw in the patch mockup, but in the patch mockup generator we had at least 6 different style of thread running across the embroider effect, but on this we have only a simple one, and it lacks the threading style. And the other drawback that I see, that when you copy the design and place it onto your product, maybe the beanie or the t-shirt, the design will be skewed just because the template is designed to be placed on the bag only. That brings me to the end of our hunt for the best embroidery mockup generator. I have reviewed 6 best options available for you. Each one fares at some parameters. To give you a recap, we have Printful, which is free and makes decent realistic mockup. This is available for all products you can imagine. Printify is not recommended at all. Placeit, it is best for lifestyle mockups and gives you decent output in terms of embroidery effect, but it is paid. Then we have the patch mockup generator, which is the most expensive out of the 6 tools that we have. It has best detailed thread styling. Then we have realistic embroidery action, which was quite lightweight and gave decent output. And finally, the embroidery template was straightforward and easy to use, produced decent output. The link to all 6 embroidery mockup generator is available in the description. Go check them out. If you love the video, hit the like button and do subscribe. If you're still watching and want to create mockups in bulk, check out our Bulk Mockup Photoshop plugin. Thank you for watching the video.